If you're stuck between the Xiaomi 17T Pro and the Motorola Edge 70 Pro, you're probably asking the same question most people are. Which one is actually worth buying? I've compared both phones, and there are 5 differences that really stand out. Some of them are obvious, while others are easy to miss. But by the end of this video, choosing between them should be a whole lot easier. Let's start with difference number 1. Let's start with performance, because this is one area where these two phones don't feel exactly the same. Now, don't get me wrong, the Motorola Edge 70 Pro is already a fast phone. Opening apps, scrolling through social media, watching YouTube, replying to messages. It handles all of that without giving you any reason to complain. The difference shows up when you start asking more from the phone. The Xiaomi 17T Pro comes with the newer Dimensity 9500 chip, while Motorola uses the Dimensity 8500 Extreme. That extra power isn't something you'll notice every 5 minutes, but you will notice it if you're into heavier gaming, video editing, recording high-resolution videos, or keeping lots of apps open throughout the day. Xiaomi also gives you more room to grow. You can get it with up to 16 gigs of RAM and as much as 1 terabyte of storage, which Motorola tops out at 12 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage, which is still good, but it gives you fewer options if you plan to keep the phone for several years. So here's how I'd look at it. If your phone is mostly for calls, social media, YouTube, photos, and everyday apps, honestly, the Motorola Edge 70 Pro is already more than enough. But if you're the type of person who wants the fastest hardware, plays demanding games, edits videos, or simply wants a phone that has more performance in reserve for the future, then the Xiaomi 17T Pro is a stronger choice. The second big difference is the camera system. And honestly, this is where things get a little more interesting. Both phones give you a triple camera setup, but they don't take the same approach. The Xiaomi 17T Pro comes with a 50 megapixel main camera, a 50 megapixel 5x periscope telephoto camera, and a 12 megapixel ultra wide. Motorola also has a 50 megapixel main camera, but its telephoto only goes up to 3.5x optical zoom. The ultra wide is another 50 megapixel sensor, so it has the advantage if you take a lot of landscape or group photos. If zoom is important to you, Xiaomi clearly has the upper hand. That extra reach makes a real difference when you're shooting buildings, concerts, wildlife, or anything that's far away. The Leica tuning also gives you 2 different styles, vibrant for punchier colors, or authentic if you prefer a more natural look. Motorola fights back with its ultra-wide camera and the higher resolution 50 megapixel selfie camera compared to Xiaomi's 32 megapixel. So it really comes down to what you use your camera for. If zoom is your priority, I'd pick the Xiaomi. But if you take more ultra-wide shots or lots of selfies, the Motorola Edge 70 Pro is definitely worth considering. The third difference is battery life, and this one is pretty easy to notice. Motorola gives you a 6500 mAh battery, which is already bigger than what most flagship phones offer today. For most people, that's comfortably a full-day phone, even if you're a fairly heavy user. Xiaomi goes even bigger with a 7000 mAh battery. Now, does that extra 500 milliamps completely change the experience? Probably not. But if you're someone who's always traveling, gaming, or watching videos for hours, every little bit helps. You'll likely end the day with a little more battery left on the Xiaomi. Charging is another area where Xiaomi pulls ahead. It supports 100-watt wired charging and 50-watt wireless charging. Motorola isn't slow either with 90-watt wired charging, but its wireless charging is limited to 15-watt in supported regions. So here's how I'd look at it. If battery life is already good enough for you, the Motorola won't disappoint. But if you want the biggest battery, faster wireless charging, and simply the more complete charging package, the Xiaomi 17T Pro has the advantage here. The fourth difference is the display and overall design. Both phones look premium, but there are a few things that separate them. The Motorola Edge 70 Pro is the slimmer and lighter phone. It weighs between 183 and 190 grams depending on the finish, while the Xiaomi comes in at 219 grams. If you don't like heavier phones or you use your phone with one hand most of the time, you'll probably notice the difference. Xiaomi, however, feels a little more premium in terms of build. It uses an aluminum frame with Gorilla Glass 7i on both the front and the back. Motorola has Gorilla Glass on the front as well, but it uses a plastic frame with an eco-leather back. The displays are excellent on both phones. Both are AMOLED panels with a 144Hz refresh rate, so scrolling, gaming, and animations feel equally smooth. Motorola has the brighter panel on paper with a peak brightness of 5200 nits, while Xiaomi supports Dolby Vision, HDR10+, and a higher 3840 Hz PWM dimming rate, which may feel more comfortable during long viewing sessions, especially at lower brightness. So this one really depends on what matters more to you. If you prefer a lighter phone that's easier to carry, Motorola has the advantage. But if you care more about premium materials and extra display features, I'd lean towards the Xiaomi 17T Pro. The last difference is something you probably won't notice on day one, but you definitely will after a year or two. And that's the software. Both phones run Android 16, but the experience isn't exactly the same. The Xiaomi 17T Pro comes with HyperOS 3. It offers plenty of features, lots of customization, and useful tools like Circle to Search, AI features, and a few extra options that power users usually appreciate. The downside is that it can feel a little busy, especially if you prefer a cleaner interface. Motorola goes in the opposite direction. Its software is much closer to stock Android. Everything feels simple, clean, and easy to use. There are fewer pre-installed apps, and if you like a minimal interface, you'll probably enjoy Motorola more. There's one more thing to keep in mind. Motorola promises up to 3 major Android upgrades, while Xiaomi usually provides longer software support on its flagship models. If you normally keep your phone for 4 or 5 years, that could make a difference. So here's my take. If you want the clean Android experience that stays out of your way, I choose the Motorola Edge 70 Pro. But if you prefer more features, more customization, and better long-term value, the Xiaomi 17T Pro is the stronger choice overall. So that's my take on the Xiaomi 17T Pro and the Motorola Edge 70 Pro. Neither of these phones is bad, they just focus on different things. If you want the extra performance, the bigger battery, and that 5x periscope camera, the Xiaomi 17T Pro is the one I'd go with. But if you prefer a lighter phone, cleaner software, and a great overall experience without spending as much, the Motorola Edge 70 Pro is still a really solid choice. Now, I'd like to hear your opinion. If you had the money today, which one would you actually buy? The Xiaomi 17T Pro or the Motorola Edge 70 Pro? And more importantly, what's the one feature that would make your decision? Let me know in the comments because I read them all and I always enjoy seeing different opinions. If you found this comparison helpful, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I compare the latest smartphones every week, and the goal is simple, to help you buy the right phone without wasting your money. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.